But then with introverts, I've noticed sometimes, even if you sit in silence,
Yeah.
you enjoy it as much as talking as well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's emotional support that, as you said, only probably introverts relate. Because I can do my whole house.
Yeah.
I can cook.
Yes.
But you're still there. Maybe I said to you, look, now I'm doing that. That's
Yeah.
it. After 1 hour.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You forget they're there even.
Yeah.
That happened to me.
But they are there, you know?
Yes.
Yeah. Welcome to Lash podcast, where we talk about entertainment, business gossip,
Alternative lifestyle, unsolicited advice, and hot trends.
with your hosts, Anna
and Chris.
Christina, do you know sharing is not always caring?
Mm-hmm. We don't... So when we say sharing, we don't necessarily mean about, I'll give you my other half of chocolate. We're talking about the problems, the things that you go through during the day.
Yeah.
All these kind of things are things that you share.
Mm-hmm.
For example, your secrets, your desires, your views, your everything, your goals and stuff like that. But what happens is, as you said, sharing is not always caring. Because if I'm always the one sharing my problems with you, for example, doesn't that make me sort of a little bit selfish, I would say?
Yeah.
Because in that case, I don't see it from your perspective. You might feel a bit overwhelmed, for example, listening to my problems. Or not problems necessarily, but all these kind of viewpoints.
Yeah. Do you know what's the problem with this one? Some people, they like to overshare. And they're more extroverts, so they talk about everything, whatever happens in their life, in their daily life, if they have problems. But there are some other people that they're more, let's say, private.
Yeah, they like to keep things to themselves, kind of, not to share as much. Yeah.
They can share one or two things, but if the other person is always talking, then there is no space for you to talk or to take your time to talk, because sometimes those introverts or private people, maybe they need some time to open up.
Yeah, to be a bit more comfortable.
Yeah.
But then because they know if they share something, it might be overwhelming for the other person.
Yeah.
They become a bit more close to themselves.
Yeah.
In that case.
So in that situation, if you have, let's say, a friendship,
Yeah.
and the other person is always sharing,
Yeah.
and the other person is always listening, and then at the end of the day, sometimes this goes wrong, because if you're always listener,
Yeah.
then you're stuck in that situation, which means at the end, it's not fair for the person who always listens and the person always talking. Like, it's okay, as you said, it's selfish, yeah?
Yeah.
But then you cannot say out of nowhere, listen, I have to talk. Like, you cannot do that.
You can only say stop them and be like, okay, it's my turn now, for example.
Yeah.
But I don't think those extroverts, they actually know that they're doing this.
I know.
Because if they knew, obviously, who would want, for example, to overwhelm you with their problems?
Yeah.
I think because their head is probably a mess or something,
Yeah.
or they have so many things going on,
Yeah.
they sort of, I think majority of them, they don't want you necessarily to say something to them, like an advice, give them advice or no. They just want you to listen. They just want to talk to someone. So not necessarily that, okay, you have to listen to me and then you have to pay attention to me and give me an advice for it.
Yeah.
I think it's just sort of like, take someone, leave him there, and then speak to him, so then you can get rid of all the weight in your shoulders.
But then, the other person that always listens is becoming like a therapist, let's say.
You could say so, yeah.
Like your friend become, of course, we're gonna help our friends and be our
definitely,
therapists, yes, but not to the extent that this one always listens and you never know what's happening in their life. And maybe the other person gets the impression that you never have problems in your life.
Yeah, or everything is good. Or they might also get the impression that you sort of don't care as much about them. Because if I'm sharing, for example, all my problems with someone and then they don't share anything back to me, that means probably I'm not important to them.
Yeah.
If you have some sort of, let's say, confidence issues or self-esteem issues, you might think that, okay, this person is never talking to me about the problem. So, as you said as well, the lives could be perfect or I'm not important. He doesn't value me as much, for example, to share their problems with me.
What confuses me here is that those other people, like, we understand. I'm gonna say we because I'm that person that listens all the time. Yeah?
Yes, I know.
So we listen to the other people all the time, and maybe we share one or two things in every couple of years from our life.
Every couple of years.
Yes, actually, like once in a year, maybe two.
So I think those people who are a bit more introverts, they sort of don't prefer or like as much I wouldn't call it a drama, but sort of this excessive
noise.
Yeah.
I say noise is even worse.
Well, when people express their opinion as much.
I'm gonna say like, okay, sometimes when we share, we also make a little bit of complaining or a little bit of drama out of it.
Yeah.
But it's not usually for the real deep problems.
The thing is for like sort of small talk.
Yeah.
Here and there.
Yeah.
I think the real big problems, you're gonna give them to yourself and deal with them by yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. Usually for me is when I'm getting frustrated from some tiny thing.
I think it's when
yeah.
the glass is almost full.
Yeah.
And you're just gonna talk about the thing that triggered the glass to overflow. You're not gonna talk about the whole content of the glass.
Yeah.
You know, you're just gonna talk
not
about
the
like
core.
the top.
Yeah. If we want to deal with our problems, usually we isolate.
Which is not necessarily a good thing.
Yeah.
I think that's probably not the worst, but I think majority of people will say that is not a good thing. The worst thing, to just close yourself off and just cut yourself off from the world. Just because you are not sharing or you're not asking for help. But not asking for help like, oh, I'm going to my friend, for example, to say this to him or her and be like, okay, give me advice what to do. Helping is also like, I'm going to get rid of this problem by just talking or discussing it with someone.
Yeah.
But we're not doing that even.
No.
Yeah.
Because why? We grew up like that.
Yeah, sort of.
So if you are a bit of a... I'm not going to say I'm an introvert or I'm not going to say I'm an extrovert, but I grew up dealing with my own feelings, emotions, and mental problems, let's say.
Yeah.
And whatever situation came at me, I just had to close my mouth and just deal with it.
Yeah.
Because there was nobody there to ask for help. And at the end, you grow up never asking for help, never sharing, and you deal with your own problems by yourself. And you isolate a lot. And as you said, you are closed off, and that's not always a good thing because you keep all the things inside you.
Yeah.
And if you talk about it a little bit, it's not about talk the whole thing, but just take a little bit of the weight off.
Yeah.
So the other thing is, like I think I will never share my problems even until I learn my lesson, let's say. The other people think if you isolate.
Yeah.
So you isolate from everybody. You don't go out with your friends. You don't see nobody. You don't want to talk to anybody. And you kind of like ghost them.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. People have said that to me.
So
they've said to me, they don't care.
They don't care.
They don't care. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. They've done this to me many times.
But the thing is, they don't understand that we have to deal in this way because not everybody is the same.
I don't know how it is from their perspective, but I could imagine that, for example, if I had a person that I was talking to every time, and then suddenly they start talking to me for like a few days, for like a week or so, then I would be like, okay, what's happening? You know, like, are you okay? Stuff like that. But I wouldn't think, me specifically, like, okay, this person doesn't want to talk to me anymore, he wants to cut off the relationship or stuff like that. I'll be like, okay, maybe he's going through something. Yeah. And we are adults at the end of the day. Yeah. So we have our own responsibilities and things to do during the day. I cannot be, let's say, demanding and be to the person, okay, you have to talk to me, or show him that you have to talk to me on a daily basis or every 2-3 days just to show me that you care for me.
No.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, you can talk to me whenever you feel like talking to me.
Yes.
Whenever you have free time. Whenever you don't have responsibilities to do, like work or studying on other things.
But the thing is, some of those people, they constantly want you to show that you care.
Yeah, maybe.
And it's really heavy.
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah.
When you have to think about, okay, I have to show some appreciation, let's say.
Yeah.
You
force it.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes. It could come out like that, yeah.
Yeah. Do you ever talk to somebody and they instantly give you an advice without asking for it?
Yeah. Those few times that I've shared some issues or whatever, they went on directly to... The second I finished my sentence, they went directly, oh, but you should something, you know? But I'm like...
No,
I don't want your opinion.
Exactly.
It's not your opinion. It's about, like, I don't want any advice, for example. I just wanted to say it. You know?
Yeah, to take it off.
Yeah, to take it off. No, I don't want anything. I don't expect anything from you. And you shouldn't, for example, force yourself to think of an advice to say to me.
Yeah, as well.
You know? Yeah. Because I don't want to be a burden to anyone.
It's not about being a burden to anybody, but it's like, as you said, those people, they talk because they want to talk and you listen. Yeah. But when we talk, they always come up with solutions.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want that.
Yeah.
And I'm not asking, it's just like I'm talking to you as you're talking to me.
Yeah.
And if you give me your solution, probably I know the solution already.
Yeah.
And
because if you're sort of an introvert, that means you've already taken the time to yourself to think about the problem and then evaluate it and then come up with a solution yourself.
And you have like 5 solutions.
Exactly. Yeah. And then you came out of your nest and then said it to someone.
Yeah.
And you kind of got rid of the excess weight and all that.
Do you know that advice is the same advice as you thought about it? And I'm like, I know this.
Yeah.
Yeah. The other thing I want to talk about here is, you know those people that they overshare? Usually they cry, they get emotional, get angry, their problems. And I cannot let myself cry, get emotional, angry, swear at someone because something happened. Like, that's even worse for me if I want to share something. Usually I share my problems in a very analytical, logical, dull way that it looks that
you're just saying a story and nothing else. Yeah.
There is no emotion, which means even the other person is not going to take it like, oh, this happened to you? And? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they don't, like, it's not like they don't appreciate how much this affected you, something. But they just, like as you said, if you say a story, it doesn't make sense.
You sort of make it like as a joke.
Yeah.
Things that happen to you, for example, you say them
maybe as a
laughing.
Joke. Yeah, as a joke even.
Yeah.
And the other person doesn't understand usually, like, this one really affected you and really pushed you.
Yeah. Otherwise you wouldn't share it first of all. That's why.
The other thing I don't like, as we said, I don't like to put a face, as we said before, like I have to be happy when I go out of my door.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm being happy, but I cannot be like,
Yeah.
Yeah. And imagine if you're being like, not without a good mood, like in a way moody or like thinking about your problems and just looking in the air, like it doesn't look nice.
No.
Like imagine if you go out with your friends and you're just like,
yeah, and then they're gonna start worrying about you and then ask you what's happening.
And that's even worse.
Yeah, because then you cannot really share.
Yeah.
You know, so you're gonna have to, as you said, put a face.
Oh, I'm okay.
Yeah, because you don't like sharing.
Yeah,
that's why. And especially if people ask you to share.
Yeah, like what happened?
Yeah. That's when I'm never gonna share with you anything.
Closed off more.
Yeah. That's wrong though.
Yeah, but it's like, as you said, nobody deals the same way.
Let's say, okay, you convince me to say the problem to you, for example, or anything, whatever I have in mind, a mess, you know.
Yeah.
What's gonna happen after that? I don't find the point, for example, of sharing something. If I know I can deal with it myself, or if I know I can take some time off. When I say time off, I don't mean a day off or something. I mean a few hours, a few minutes maybe. I don't know, maybe it could be days for some people. Even if I say the problem, for example, I haven't achieved anything.
Yeah.
Because if I don't feel like talking right now, that means I'm not gonna feel relieved. I have to say it at my own time, at my own pace. So it's not gonna benefit me, and it's not gonna benefit you either.
Yeah.
Because why, for example, when we're in a group, why would I bring the mood down, let's say, or make you overthink about my problem or things like that?
Make you sad as well, upset.
Exactly. Or anything. Change the mood, kind of. Especially if we're having fun. Of course, I'm not gonna say anything. That doesn't mean I'm not happy.
Yeah.
It means, okay, maybe I need a few minutes until I catch up as well. Yeah.
It's like you have to leave the person to deal with their own problems sometimes, because this is how they dealt their whole life. And don't take it for granted that they don't have any problems daily.
Yeah.
That affects them maybe even more emotionally or mentally than you think.
Because everyone has problems.
Yeah.
So you never know how someone can be affected by, I broke my nail, for example.
Yeah.
That can make them, I don't know, destroy.
Lose themselves.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Some people have bigger problems and then they can handle them with ease more than other people.
Yeah.
You don't know what troubles each person every single day.
For example, if something troubles you, doesn't trouble me the same way.
Yeah.
So we need to know the difference on this one. And the people that share too much, it's okay to share.
Yeah.
But don't think all the time you have to share. You have to think of the other person as well.
Yeah.
That is a little bit more closed off, let's say. Or sometimes give them that space because maybe they need some time to open up.
Yeah. Or maybe as well like find your person. Because not everyone is suitable, let's say, for everyone. And we're talking about any kind of relationship.
True. Yeah.
Any sort of relationship. Like, for example, if you think that this person doesn't make you feel as you want to feel, then you don't click with that person, for example.
Exactly. So maybe they click with you.
Exactly.
But you on your side, you don't. You can't.
Yeah.
and it's not wrong.
Yeah.
And sometimes maybe it can be some family member, maybe your mom,
Yeah.
maybe your boyfriend.
Anyone, yeah.
Doesn't have to be just a friend that you go out, like a girl or a boy, or like, you know.
Yeah.
Because there are people that they're closed off. There are people that they talk now. Come on, especially the introverts one, they're gonna be like, yes, talk to me more. You know that?
Who's gonna be the introverts?
They're gonna be like, yes, talk to me more because I know what you mean.
And then you relate with him. And then you do the same things. But then you don't know.
But the introverts, they cannot explain this. So
Yeah.
if they see it, I'm like,
Yeah, you do that as well,
Yeah.
you know?
but the other ones, they don't really. Well, I feel like they...
So when you, for example, an introvert and you call someone
Yeah.
and they don't pick up, and you're the happiest person ever for some reason.
Yeah.
Because it's, again, related to the fact that you have to show that you care about someone, yes,
Yeah.
but then when they don't pick up.
Oh, is it? Yes.
Okay,
I know.
and I have to say this. I've done this,
Yeah.
and I'm sure everyone has done this. You call someone and you let it ring only for like 3-4 times, not full, like
Yeah.
the whole call.
And then you claim, I called you.
Yes, exactly. Okay, that is a mean thing to say, but you know, I don't feel like talking.
I know
There's
why you say
sometimes
that.
I don't feel like talking to anyone.
Me too.
Yeah,
But like if you say I don't feel like talking, they get offended.
this is and that's also another introvert thing when you're relatable. When an introvert meets an introvert, and then they understand that if you don't talk to me, I'm not gonna be offended.
Exactly. It's
The
smooth.
same thing. Yes.
Yeah.
And you can, for example, some people, you know, you can sit with people and talk for hours and hours and hours.
Yeah.
Specifically when the other person is an extrovert. Could be you or him, it doesn't matter. Because sometimes introverts can also talk a bit more than usual, you know. But yeah, and then you click with this person. But then there's those times as well that you don't speak as much. And then if one of you is an extrovert, is going to think, okay, the conversation might be a bit boring right now, so let's hang up, for example, you know, or let's not talk anymore and just, you know, do our own thing. But then with introverts, I've noticed sometimes, even if you sit in silence,
Yeah.
you enjoy it as much as talking as well.
Exactly.
Yeah. You don't have to talk. You can have, for example, your friend, for example, anyone, and your relative as well, FaceTiming you throughout the whole day.
Yeah.
You don't talk. You do your own thing.
You just be there.
Yes.
You just be there.
Just be there. We don't have
company.
to talk.
Yeah, for company.
We do our own thing, and that's it. And that's the best thing.
That's emotional support that, as you said, only probably introverts relate. Because I can do my whole house.
Yeah.
I can cook.
Yes.
But you're still there. Maybe I said to you, look, now I'm doing that. That's
Yeah.
it. After 1 hour.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You forget they're there even.
Yeah.
That happened to
But
me.
they are there, you know?
Yes.
Yeah.
And this is what the let's say personal space. This is when you are comfortable enough in your personal space to open up to the other person. This is what sort of causes this.
Yeah. But when you go out, let's say, and you are forced to talk.
Yeah.
Like to fill up the space, let's say.
Yes, exactly.
Because it's awkward.
This is that's frustrating. Let's say when you have to fill up the space, you know, because you know the other person is not going to take it as good, or they might be bored and things like that. So yeah.
Do you know also when your social battery?
Oh my god, you know, I haven't found many people in my life that their social battery just runs out. When I'm out somewhere, or when I wake up in the morning, for example, I have my morning routine, like drink coffee, eat something, for example, and all that, and then I have to go out somewhere. And then somewhere in the middle of the day, I just cannot speak anymore.
Yeah.
I cannot concentrate. My brain just shut off completely. And then people are like, okay, what happened to you suddenly? Because your body language, your mood, your everything shows that you're just turn off completely. And this is a social battery that some people, majority of the people that I have in my life, they haven't really understood. Like, I'm out with you, we're speaking for 2 hours in a row, and then suddenly I cannot say a word.
Black out.
Yes.
I know, but they don't understand that. You know, not everybody has the same energy for everything.
Yes, I have limited energy. So if I do one thing, for example, depending also how much energy you have to spend on that thing, I'm not going to have any energy for the rest of the day.
Yeah. Doesn't mean something happened.
No.
Or, I don't know, you thought of something.
No,
it's
no,
just
necessarily.
drops. It's like a blackout.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you have to compensate for your lacking of energy.
Yes.
And that's forcing you. And then you're not going to go out again, let's say, if this happens once or twice, because you're going to feel you have to fill up the space again.
Exactly.
Which means it's forced.
Yeah.
Which means I stay off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you know how many days, for example, it takes you to recharge your battery?
A week.
Yeah. So the next day, yeah.
And then, where were you? Why you don't talk to us? You forgot us. You know?
Yeah.
I hate those people.
It's
ADHD.
An ADHD?
No, but imagine if people talk to you at the same time and you listen to both of them. We cannot have ADHD if we are introverts, can we?
Yes, you can. I think so.
I don't know. That's
The
weird.
ADHD doesn't have anything to do with how talkative you are or not.
True, but if you think about
Because you can be silent. You can be a person who doesn't talk as much, but then you're sort of hyperactive, or your mind is sort of a mess the whole time because you're thinking too many things at once. So that doesn't necessarily make you a talkative person.
True.
That makes you sort of closed off because you're trying to make your head, put the things in your head in an order.
Yeah.
So you're not talking as much in that case.
So let's say the people who have ADHD could be more private people, if we think about it like that.
Could be.
Because
although there is, I think, because I'm not an expert in ADHD, I think when you have ADHD, there's two types of people with ADHD. I think the ones that are, extroverts and introverts. Why? Because when you're an introvert, as I said earlier, you have to sort of make the things in your head, put the things in your head in order. And then there's other people that they do this thing by talking it out loud. Yeah. So it depends on your personality as well.
True.
Yeah, but ADHD is about like your attention span, for example, is sort of
deficient.
Yeah. Exactly. That's what it means. Yeah. All right. Let's go to another topic, maybe.
Yeah.
Let's close this topic off. That was a bit dramatic.
Yeah. True.
Yeah. So let's leave this on the side. The next topic we're going to talk about is
The Doomsday Clock. So, in the Doomsday Clock, first of all, this clock is hypothetical and is put by scientists.
okay.
And it says, right now in 2024, it is 90 seconds to midnight. Which means 90 seconds to midnight, to 12 o'clock midnight. This clock was invented by Oppenheimer and Einstein in 1947.
Okay.
And it was set for the first time in the 7 minutes to midnight. Which means, usually this clock is depicted as a half clock, let's say.
Okay.
And from quarter to 12,
Yeah.
usually.
Yeah.
And it changes every time something happens in the world. And as close to the midnight we go, is the time it's gonna be a nuclear war.
Nuclear war.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which means we caused the destruction of the world.
Okay. Yeah.
As closer it goes to midnight, that's the danger, even more danger, to a nuclear war. Or even more close, let's say. Now is in the 90 seconds, which means like a minute and a half, let's say.
Yeah.
Before, when it was first invented, let's say, was to 7 minutes because everything was peaceful, kind of.
Yeah. Yeah.
In 1991, after the Cold War, it was set to 17 minutes. From 7 minutes to 17 minutes. In the pandemic, was set into 100 seconds to midnight.
Okay.
2023, it was set to 90 seconds, and 2024, a few days ago, it was still set to 90 seconds, which is the closest we are to a nuclear war.
Wow.
Yes. And it has changed through history since 1947 a few times, like to 5 minutes, to 7 minutes, to like, depending on what's happening in the world. Because of the Ukrainian invasion last year, it was set to the closest to midnight, 90 seconds.
Yeah.
Yes, and this clock changes every time something happens in the world, or if there are any nuclear tests.
Yeah.
It goes back and forth. Usually it goes for
Yeah, because then the more, let's say, incidents and problems occur in the world, then the less time sort of we have until the big disaster, kinda.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially lately with all those problems happening, for example, like the climate change, all those sort of, let's say, AI problems that we came across. Even Elon Musk and other researchers in general, they've said that AI is going to be far more dangerous than we've ever imagined. So you never know what's going to happen this year, 2024. Of course, not to take it as a bad luck or something, or to be depressed and miserable and all that, but
there are concerns.
Yes, there are concerns that it's going to be different than other years.
Yeah.
Especially since it's been so many years that it happened.
Yeah.
1947, actually.
Yeah.
So we should expect something anytime soon, I think. Yeah.
Let's see. Like, it makes you aware, like, where we are so close, especially this. It's been 2 years in the same position, but it's like the closest we've been to the midnight, to the...
So, especially after Corona, I'm wondering actually how it didn't happen during Corona time, because it was like a tough time for everyone.
Exactly.
Like a global,
It's so weird talking about the disaster.
Yeah.
And I came across a couple of days ago something that Rishi Sunak said.
Okay.
He didn't say. He just stated that from now on, women are gonna be drafted to the army.
Yes, I've seen that one as well. It's all over the news.
Yeah.
I've seen it so much that even a lot of people have made memes on TikTok about it. Like, it's crazy.
You know what my concern is? Like, okay, they said it's not because we are gonna have a war. It's just to make army. But if you are putting yourself to make the army, what does that mean?
That you're planning for something.
Yeah. Even if you're not planning for something yourself, it means there is some danger lurking. So you need to be prepared.
Yeah.
So is that weird that the clock goes closer to midnight?
You never know what happens actually. Yeah. In those big
there are signs. Yeah,
but that's concerning actually.
Yeah.
That's concerning because I don't think women were never, let's say, allowed or drafted ever to go to the military or to the army in general. So this is a whole new thing.
I don't know why women like
talk about equality and stuff. Maybe.
Yeah. Oh, we wanted equality.
We wanted equality. There we have it. Let's go. No.
But it's usually from 19 to 26, I think, years old. Not younger or like...
and I think it's obviously not the disabled people, of course.
Yeah.
So it's going to be specific ones.
Yeah.
So some should be safe.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Imagine a letter comes in your house and says you have to.
Yeah.
And you cannot avoid it.
Yeah. But I don't know if that's possible, because don't they, like, those people, anyone, aren't they supposed to be able to have the proper training, let's say, or physical strength and endurance?
That's the thing. Probably they choose them. So there are some criteria, probably.
Yeah,
but
I hope there is.
But even when you go to the army, usually back in our country, for example, when the boys go into the army when they are 18 years old, they have no previous training. Yeah, they do it there. Yeah. So probably they're gonna do it there.
Yeah,
but women,
they have gone to the military as well, to the army many times, but the ones, for example, that came, like, had problems during their training, they were sent off at home. You know, so they had the training.
It's going to be mandatory. Let's say,
so, like, I don't know what sort of the procedure is going to be. That's going to be the concerning thing,
Yeah. But it's already concerning because now they try to make it aware that we have to have an army, let's say.
So if you connect the dots all together, then... Yeah. We don't know. Anyways. Okay, so now it's time for Yay Time. We will be revisiting the game that we did in the first episode, which is the charades one, because we actually really enjoyed it, so we're gonna have to do it again.
Yeah.
Okay. What is it called? There is a song with that. We make it in the winter, and there is like the head, which is round, and the body is round, and the bottom is round as well. You go outside and you make this with a carrot in the nose.
Snowman.
Yes. No. When you go camping, you live in a
camp. In a tent.
Yes. Let me take a
screenshot.
No. Photo. Yes, that's the one. Okay. Ham and cheese toast. I'm cutting my hair with the
scissors.
Yes, down.
It's a model.
Yeah.
Very skinny one.
Yeah.
Close with Gigi. Close with, and she has big eyes.
Cara Delevingne.
Yes. Oh my god.
I wanted to say it from the beginning.
Skip.
Uh-huh.
Billionaire.
Jeff Bezos.
Footballer.
X.
X. He's married with Victoria.
David Beckham.
Yes. The Mask.
Le Jim Carrey. Le Jim Carrey. Skip. My heart will go on.
Celine Dion.
Down. So this woman, this singer who sings the Lonely.
Billie
Yes.
Eilish.
Oh, okay. Karate Kid. The guy.
Jaden.
No. Yes, bravo. So all those Marvel movies, they have all those people that are. They're saving the world. So they're what?
Superhero.
Yeah. Done. I don't know what this is. Okay. Give me a pen and.
Paper.
Yes. Oh, my favorite animal.
Should I know?
Yeah, it's a big thing. You can ride it.
Horse.
Is it not a fork? The other one.
Knife.
Oh no! Yes.
I said something.
Okay, I'll make it harder. This one. So I cannot make it harder because I don't know where they
It's
live.
already hard.
No, is the South and the
North.
what?
Atlantic.
No.
Pole.
Yes. Oh, you go there to exercise.
Gym.
Yes. That's so easy. Skip. We said that before. Butterfly.
Yeah,
Okay. It comes out at night. It makes a good noise, and it can spin its head 360 degrees.
Owl.
Yes. So
360 degrees.
yeah, 180. So the tree underneath the soil has
Root.
yeah, nice.
I'm awake and then I'm
Sleep.
ing.
Sleeping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mix and
Match.
the snowman has here what?
Carrot.
Yeah. Big animal.
Mammoth.
No. It exists.
Rhino.
No.
Giraffe.
The big
Elephant.
Yeah.
Oh well,
Uh-huh.
that was easy.
Not sad.
Happy.
Ah.
Today
we're having
a party.
no. This is a
good.
joke.
Good. Funny.
Yeah.
It's easy. Okay.
I'm eating on my
Plate.
yeah. Skip.
Uh-huh.
In the Christmas, we make these cookies.
Yeah.
From in the UK.
Yeah.
They come with shape of little guy.
Gingerbread.
Man.
Yeah, gingerbread.
Is it skip? Outside your garden, you have around to protect
Fence.
you. Yeah, to protect you.
To protect.
Not fingers.
Arm.
No.
Toes.
Yes, but no. The main one.
The toe.
But let's call
Big
it-
toe.
Yeah.
That's the one?
Yeah.
Okay.
I eat my cereals in the
Bowl.
yeah.
Let's go to the fact of the day
Yeah.
now. Fish of the day.
Yeah.
Today we are fishing.
What are you
something.
fishing?
I'm fishing something good.
Uh-huh.
Speaking of fish, actually, and water and stuff, I read somewhere once online that you cannot actually feel that the water is wet.
Oh.
Yes. So you can only feel it just because of the difference in temperature. So if you have, for example, hot water and cold water, you're gonna feel obviously a difference that your finger, for example, if you dip inside, it
Yeah.
will get cold.
Yeah.
You know, so you'll feel the temperature. But if you close your eyes and actually have the same temperature of the water as your hand, for
Yeah.
example, and you dip inside and you close your eyes, you cannot tell when the water is touching you.
Ouch.
Yes. Because water itself basically is not wet, but it can make other objects wet.
Yeah.
Yes. That was very interesting to say.
Now you make me think.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. Just think about it. When you go, for example, in the shower, you only feel that something is, for example, making you warm. You
Yeah.
don't feel that the water is on you.
or something is hitting you sometimes.
Yeah,
because of
so
the shower,
yeah, exactly. If there is pressure, but then if you take a glass of water and then you
Yeah.
try putting your finger inside with your eyes closed, you cannot tell when.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So, thank you all for tuning into the Lash podcast.
That was it for today.
We will see you again next week. We upload every Tuesday a new episode.
Yeah. And we are on Spotify and soon on Google Podcasts.
Yeah. So make sure you follow us there as well.
Yeah.
Be good then, and
Bye,
bye
bye,
bye.